Okay. Today I'll be taking your class. My name is Bidisha Dubey, and currently I'm working as a manager operations and training at IDS TIH ISI Kolkata. So today's session will be on communication skills. Okay. So this class might seem a bit dull at first since we won't be doing any programming, modeling, or analysis, or anything like that. Nothing technical. Okay. However, over time, hope you will understand the importance of this particular area and also you will understand that how this particular subject is important for any working professionals, researcher, or student. One more thing I want to add, please use your microphone when you want to share something. Try to avoid the chat box. Since this is a communication class, let's keep the interaction flowing both ways. Okay. Before I start, let me know any of you tell me what exactly you understand by this term communication. Anyone?
Communication is the process by which we can convey our message to some other person or a group of people.
Message to a person or a group of people. Okay, nice. Anyone else?
It is a way to express oneself to another person.
It is a way.
It is a way to express oneself to another person.
Okay, so now how you will express yourself?
Using word sentences.
Okay. So any other way around?
Communication can be verbal, communication can be non-verbal also. Like
Correct,
there.
correct.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Okay, so from the let's start with the small little back from the very start of everyone's life. Even before we born, we begin to communicate, right? Because we still in the womb, we respond to the sounds and sensations like the rhythm of the heartbeat or vibration of the voice. uh, we are already attuned to the world around us, sensing the vibration, sounds, and the rhythm. So the heartbeat of our mother, the gentle sound of our voice, and even the external noises all become the part of our early communication experience even before we born. Okay, so this early interaction is the fundamental part of human development. Once we born, communication evolves further as we learn to use our senses and eventually start speaking. And from that point onward, our entire lives are shaped by continuous communication. So after birth, the communication continues to evolve, and as a newborn, we really heavily on the non-verbal. As someone said, I missed her name. That like the verbal and non-verbal. So as a newborn, we really heavily on the non-verbal things like crying, facial expressions, and body movements to express their needs and emotions. So this initial form of communication is a key mechanism for bonding with caregivers and and understanding the world. So as we grow, our sensory abilities like sight, sounds, touch, and smell become sharper, and we begin to use them to interpret and respond to our environment more consciously. So, with time, we develop language, learning how to use words and to communicate more precisely and effectively. So, communication is not just about speaking or exchanging the words, because it's an ongoing, inexplicable process. So even when we are silent, we still communicating, right? So our body language, our facial expression, and even our presence, absence send messages to those who are around us. So the act of not speaking can convey the multitude of meanings, like whether it's a gesture, a look, or simply the space we give to others. So this constant flow of communication has the intrigued the scholars, the researchers, for centuries. Like they have tried to understand, and they try to define what exactly the what exactly the communication is, the exploring its many forms, purposes, and impacts. So in essence of that, like communication is so deeply embedded in the human existence that is impossible to avoid. So it's in the part of who we are from the moment we begin to experience to the world. So let's come to the next slide. So basically, the first thing which comes to our mind, that what is communication and why do we need that? So as already two of your friends already said, like basically we are communication mean we are exchanging we are conveying some information, we are exchanging some information, or our thoughts. So so this is basically a one line definition. So we are exchanging the information. So what exactly is communication? The term communication carry various meaning depending on the the context in which it is used. In its broadest sense, communication is the process of sensing or receiving the information, ideas, or feelings. So however, it takes on different forms, and the importance in different communication between people can involve the spoken or written language, non-verbal, or even the shared experience as well. So in some other perspective also, like if we consider like animals, plants, and eventually the natural phenomena engage in forms of the communication as well. For example, we can some natural example we can consider here, like let's take the flower. So the flower communicate with bees by attracting them with color, sense, their sense, in that smell, or the facilitating the pollination process. So even so this is basically through the phases of the moon, and that communicates the passage of the time and seasons to those who observe it. So in context to that, if I'm asking you, can you please share one more example which we can take from from nature? As I already shared one example, like the flower communicating with the bee. So same way, Can you recollect any one example from the nature for as an example of communication? Anyone?
Birds connecting with trees.
Okay, okay, great. Anything else?
Peacock dances when it comes rain.
Nice, very nice. Great. So this is we are not using this peacock example. It's so beautiful. It's uh we are not expressing, peacock is not expressing anything by words, or they are not sending any written the letter or anything. So this is actually the communication, the natural communication, so which we are getting from nature. So for purposes of this course, we are narrowing our focus to for this particular course, we are narrowing our focus to the human communication. Okay, so human communication is unique because it involves the complex systems of symbols, language, gestures, and context. So it's not just about transmitting the information. It's not just about the transmitting information, but also connecting with others with emotional, social, and cultural levels. So this kind of communication includes verbal communication, as well as non-verbal communication, like verbal communication like spoken or written words, and non-verbal communication like body language, facial expression, tone of voice, eye contact. So these are the few example we can consider. So additionally, communication is shaped by the context in which it occurs, like the culture, the environment, the relationship between those involved, and even the medium we are using. Okay, like whether the face to face or over the phone or through any digital platform. So these all are the different medium we are considering. So technically, if we conclude that what is if we want to conclude like what is communication or the need of communication, by adding this 2 point, we can conclude that I think many of you already aware about this. This particular communication term is derived from the Latin verb communicare. So this communication, this particular term derived from the Latin verb that is communicare, which means to share, to share. While the word interpersonal means between the person, between two persons. Okay, so when you put interpersonal and communication together, we have the interactive the transactional sharing that happens between human as they negotiate and understanding of each other, or they're sharing some information. So this is why we define the interpersonal communication as the exchanges of information between people for purpose of sharing, understanding, and influencing one another. So this is a one-line definition we can conclude. Already two of your classmates already shared, like communication is a way we share ideas, feelings, and information with others through words, expression, or any kind of media. Okay. Now, the before going to other thing, the reason for why the communication skills are extremely important for a data scientist. So any particular point you want to mention here, or I want to know one thing. Uh, okay. Okay. Um, I will check the chat box later on. First, tell me, before going to this particular point, first tell me how many of you are thinking that this particular course, like this communication skill, it's not well fitted uh, for your internship? How many of you? How many of you think that this particular communication skill uh, is not well suited for this particular internship course? Anyone having any point? Interpret data and explain it to others. Maybe that's why interpret data and explain it to others. Maybe that's why communication skills are necessary. Okay, so then my question is, how will you interpret the data? Is there any particular form or something, some particular point you want to mention over here while interpreting the data, or any particular skills you want to mention? Can you please unmute yourself, Shohardo? It would be better to interact. Ma'am, I have some issues. তোমাদের কেন এত ইস্যু থাকে? I don't know. Okay, no problem. Okay, so the reason for why this particular one are extremely important for a data scientist or data analyst. This communication is the most important skill in the field of data science. Okay. Now, data science involves the understanding, analyzing, and the interpreting the large amount of complex data to drag the actionable insights and make informed decision. So this particular one cannot be achieved by the data scientist alone or the data analyst alone. So as it requires the collaboration with other team members, for like the not even the team members, even for a particular organization, maybe some other department as well, like the data engineer, the cloud engineer, the business analyst, the data visualization analyst, the business executive, the finance analyst, the finance team, the marketing team. So keeping in mind the project goal, the timeline, the deliverable timeline. So all this point keeping in our mind, inter team have to work together. So and everyone have to have their own the own inputs to achieve the goal. So effective communication skills are essential for presenting the findings, recommendation to the non-technical audience as well. It's not always important. You are analyzing some data. You are doing a high-level Python coding, or you are creating some dashboard or API structure or anything like that, and after doing all these things, it is essential and to express your findings with the non-technical audience as well, okay, because end of the day you have to do your business. If I'm considering from a company perspective, so, moreover, the data scientists need to document their data science or the machine learning project work in a clear and concise manner. This is includes the documentation, code, results, and the assumptions in a way that they can be easily understood by other team members and the other stakeholders as well. So, we have few points. Number one, this one. By this picture, can anyone guess what could be the appropriate title for this picture? What exactly it's doing? Keep
It's
it.
actually building a connection.
Sorry?
It's actually building a connection
Connection in between?
in between professional people and non-technical people.
Okay, good. Uh, Not categorically, it's technical or non-technical. We can make it generic, like collaboration with team members. Okay, so definitely, to some extent, you are right. That a particular team is working on the technical part. They are doing the coding, their modeling, analysis, entire thing, and some other. Yes. Anyone want to say anything? Okay. Uh, so in other hand, the other team members, other stakeholders are there. So basically, this is a collaboration with team members. So data science projects often involve the teams of the professional from the different disciplines. Like as we have, as I already mentioned, like it might be data analyst team, then the cloud engineering section, then the business intelligence unit, then the business operations, finance operations, then the marketing team. So they are actually involves the different disciplines from an organization. So good communication skills are key to ensuring that everyone is aligned on the project goals, timelines, and the deliverables. So the clear and concise communication helps to avoid the confusion, errors, and to ensure the team is working towards the same objective. Now the next one. Any idea? Anything from this picture?
Team discussion.
Group
Okay.
discussion.
Yeah, team discussion. Okay. So in a technical way, we can say the stakeholder engagement as well, because when you are correct, like team engagement, they all are making a team and they are discussing on some particular point. But if I am considering the technical point of view, because when always keep in your mind, when you are dealing with data engineering, data science, and more categorically the technical domain, you have to be very specific the word you are using. Okay, so when you are uh, talking about the team team members, so team member, it might be in a same department as well. Okay, so it doesn't reflect that it from diverse, it doesn't reflect the diversity. So here in this context, we are actually taking the entire space in a single point. So basically, we are collaborating different department or discipline, we can say. So this is the exact term should be the stakeholders. So for the finance, there must be some other department. For the operations, there must be some other sectional person. For the data analysis, there must be some other one. So everyone has the different stakeholders. So this is basically the actual term is the stakeholder engagement, okay, or stakeholder meetings. So in addition to collaborating with the team members, so that is also very important, as you said, like team members. So in addition with collaborating with your own team member, it is important to collaborate with the other stakeholders as well. Okay, so the data scientist is also need to communicate with the stakeholders such as the project sensors, the clients, the business owner, the executive. So here the stakeholder is not from your own department, they are from some other department. Okay, so and by effectively communicating with the value of the project, the data scientists can help build the support and ensure the project meets the needs of all their stakeholders. Uh, this picture is a little confusing. Can anyone guess?
Sharing thoughts with others.
You're very close
Sharing
to.
ideas. Sharing ideas.
Correct. All of you are correct. Sritoma and other all are correct. Basically, knowledge sharing. So, as the field of data science is constantly evolving, the data scientists need to be able to communicate their knowledge to others and continue their own learning through, the engagement with the broader community. So this may involve participating the conference, national conference, international conference, workshops, seminars, contributing to the open source project, all of which require the effective communication skills. Okay, now the fourth one, any idea? This is very important one. When I'm talking this particular slide, that is the reason for why the communication skill is extremely important for you or for a data scientist, for a data analytics. This particular one is very important.
Presenting.
Sorry?
Present.
Analyzing the data and presenting in front of people.
Yeah. Correct. All of you are correct. So basically interpreting the result, that is most important. And that's here the beauty lies of your analysis of the data. No matter what you are doing, data, in today's era, the research, there is a most of the researcher is stuck with the data, because data is the very important and the crucial part for research. So it's very important how you are representing your data, how even after analyzing how you are representing your data. So the data scientists need to be able to explain the complex statistical or the machine learning concepts and their result, keeping in your mind that your stakeholders are non-technical. Okay, so not necessarily always they have to be from a very strong background of data analysis. So the result to non-technical stakeholders in a way that is understandable and actionable. So effective communication skills are essential for presenting the findings and recommendation to the non-technical audience as well. So you have to represent your data in a storytelling way. So A data scientist need to able to present their data driven insights effectively to tell a story with the data. A good data presentation needs to be a visually appealing and easy to understand for audience, and which requires the effective communication skills as well, because you have a number of dashboards and the analysis, the graphs, whatever you have, but be let's consider I'm a non-technical person. Okay, so how will you explain? You are doing some analysis, like how will you the let's take an example. um, a movie recommendation movie will analyze the movie recommendation app like a Netflix, how they will recommend the movie for a particular zone of people who are looking for some the friction movies. So you have analyzed everything. Analysis part is done. Now, being a non-technical person, how will you explain it to me? So that is important, because I won't understand the Python coding. I won't understand the dashboard or anything like that, any technical thing. So you have to tell me, starting from downloading the data to the result and the conclusion, everything you have to depict in a storytelling form. Okay, so always keep in your mind, your result should be in a very your expression or your interpretation of result when you are presenting in front of anyone. So your presentation should be as you are presenting in front of a non-technical person. Always keep in your mind, then the rest of the work will be easy for anyone. So always keep in your mind. So you have data, then you have to do the filtration, then the visualization, then the analysis, and then the stories. So these are the 5 key points. So whenever you are doing anything, so first the data you have to download, data you have to, or data you have to collect, then the filtering of that particular data, because always it's not necessary that you will get the pure data. Okay, so data filtration, then the visualization, then the analysis of that particular data using your algorithm, whatever the algorithm you will use, then the story, or in other words the interpretation. So how will you interpret the data? So these are the 5 important key stages to express your research. Okay, now this one, any idea?
Finding problems or issues in the work that we have done. Maybe.
Not really. This is basically the I can understand the picture is little confusing. Maybe it's not appropriate.
Is
Um,
it the outcome?
Or is it emailing people?
yeah, kind sort of like that. Emailing, like it's basically the documentation part. It's basically the documentation part, because everything from starting from the first picture. So first the the collaborating first, if I'm considering the first picture. Okay, the uh, collaboration with the team members. Okay, then the stakeholder engagement, then the knowledge sharing, then the entire process of your research, then everything is done. Now what do you have to do? The documentation, you have to keep it somewhere, like, right? So the documentation is very important, project documentation. So in addition to the verbal communication, the data scientists need to be able to communicate their work in a clear and concise manner. So this includes the documenting the code results, or their assumptions, the gaps of the research. Because one important thing for any kind of research, gap is very important. So the on which you are working already, the literature survey and the objective you have in between, the gap lies. Okay, so this is very important. So this includes the documenting the code results and assumptions, the gap or drawbacks, in a way that can be easily understood by the other team members or the stakeholders. So someone of your classmate said that emailing. Yes, it might be emailing. And one girl was telling like error finding. No, actually not error. Actually, we are not looking for the error here, because in the second last picture, we have already done the the process, that analysis part is already done. So here we are not looking for the error correction. Okay, so basically we are documenting the entire process. For you can consider for the future reference as well. Okay, for your team members or the stakeholders, and maybe for your own reference as well. Okay, now the next part. So up to this, before going to the types of communication, up to this, any doubt, anything, or are you getting any interest or feeling bored? So I can consider this silence as most of you, not most of, many of you are feeling bored.
No, ma'am, it is.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we can continue, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so this is already one of your friend, starting of the of today's session. They've already mentioned like the types of communication. Uh, it's a very generic. Uh, yeah. So visible. So basically, the types of communication. I don't know, anyone of you from this class is from electronics communication background? Anyone? Or anyone having any idea about the communication from the perspective of engineering, like analog communication, digital communication, from that point of view? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah. Uh, are you from electronics background?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no issues. Uh, So basically, the types of communication, we are not going to that technical domain like the analog communication, digital communication, wireless communication, optical communication. This is the complete different zone. Okay. But this type of communication which we are discussing today, it is completely general perspective. It's not from that point of view, from the engineer, it's not from the engineering perspective. Okay, so the type of communication broadly we can define based on two basic things. One is channel and other one is purpose. So the channel is how you are communicating. I'm the sender message I'm sending to my student, how I'm sending the information. This channel. So this channel is basically divided into two parts, verbal and non-verbal. And based on the style and purpose, that is the formal and informal. So first, consider this particular one, channel, verbal and non-verbal. So verbal is oral and written, and non-verbal is different thing. Okay, let's consider this class. I'm sending some information to you, and you are the receiver. You are at the receiver point. Okay. So if I'm considering how I am sending the information to you right away, anyone?
Ma'am, please repeat the question.
Uh, consider I'm in the sender point. I'm the sender, and you all are the receiver point. And I'm sending you some message. Consider this class. I'm sending you some message and you are receiving. Now, how I'm sending you the message? How you are getting my message?
Verbally.
Verbal
Sorry?
communication.
Through speech.
Correct. Okay, so we can consider from this particular table, we can consider the oral one, right?
Yes.
And earlier to that, many, almost all of you, not many of you, or even all of you received the email from my end, right? Regarding the internship, the confirmation and something like that, the schedule and other many other things, information regarding the internship. That also even you got.
Yes, ma'am.
So that comes under the written part. That time as well, I was the sender, you were in the receiving point, and the channel was the email. Now, what exactly this email, when I'm considering the email, where exactly the channel, exactly the channel name, that no need to dip into that. Okay, forget about that. But oral and written. So when we are interacting, that is the oral verbal communication. And when we are interacting via email or anything like that, then the written. And the non-verbal one, it's completely like the feelings. Okay. And formal and informal we'll discuss later on. So the basis of the channel, we have already discussed that the verbal mean like we are using a strong confident speaking voice or active listening, that like many of you, I must say that actually being a very boring subject with respect to the data science, you guys are really very good, very sincere that you were listening. So you all, most almost all of you are active listening. Okay, so active listener. So avoid the the filler words, the industry jargon when the appropriateness. So these all are the verbal, comes under the verbal point. And the non-verbal, that the emotions, feelings, this kind of thing. Here actually we are not using any kind of the words or any written format. And the visual one is when other, before including the visuals, consider your audience. Only we use the visual if they add value and make them the clear and easy understand. So in case of visual, we can say that visual communication is more concrete way of communication, where the picture and the text are often used together. So you can use the illustration, photos, sketch, symbols, text, and this is a way of communicating that becomes more specific, and that doesn't allow for even the misunderstanding to the same degree as the spoken language. It's far better than the the spoken language. And written, obviously all of you are already aware about this. Okay, now the next one. So it's a very, normal, just to make a little fun of it, a comparison between verbal and non-verbal based on some common content, like the use of words. In case of verbal, we are using. In case of non-verbal, we are not using. Consciousness, context, decoding, mode, time consumption, physical presence. So this there's a technical term, decoding. So what exactly decoding, I will tell you later stage. So this is our comparison table, and this is in NVWV min. I have written the the title in short, like verbal, NV mean non-verbal, W mean written, and V mean again visual. So in the first one, that they are sharing their thoughts, like they are asking something like, hey Charles, what's up, and I'm well, Bernie, thank you. So they are communicating with each other. And the next one, non-verbal, it's completely feelings. They are holding each of their hands. Okay. And third one is written, writing a letter to boss or anyone, teacher or parents, anything, anyone. And last one is the visual one. It's simply just to make a the little fun of this class. I have added this picture. Okay, now the very important part of communication, that is the formal communication, which comes under that the second tree of communication. So formal communication. Now, if I'm considering uh, here, so the 4 points is there, like diagonal or cross conversation, upward conversation, downward conversation, horizontal conversation. Okay, now this is very important. Okay, so first one is diagonal and cross conversation. So this kind of conversation occurs between employees at different levels and in different departments, promoting their, the interdepartmental cooperation or the efficient information exchange. So this is basically this kind of conversation, diagonal or cross conversation, is mostly happened in between two different departments. Say for finance department and HR department, they are interacting. This is cross conversation. Okay. Now coming to the next one. Okay, let's first talk about the horizontal. Okay, so horizontal, this communication occurs between the individuals or the departments at the same hierarchical level. Mean, you are in operation team or you are in operation department, so that people interacting each other. Okay, so maybe different positions are department management, the top position of the operation person is holding, and a trainee is working there. They both are sharing the information, they both are communicating each other, but it's a horizontal communication. So horizontal communication means the communication will be fixed into a same department. Now upward and downward conversation. So upward conversation mean when the information travels from the lower level employee to their higher authority. So typically conveying the report, suggestions, feedback to the management. Okay, so Upward conversation mean when the information or the communication is moving from lower to the lower lower level employee to the higher management, and the downward conversation is just opposite to the upwards, when the information or the communication flows from the higher position to the subordinate employee. Okay, so this is the basic four the kind of communication process in a organization in a perspective of the formal communication: diagonal or cross conversation, horizontal conversation, upward and downward. Cross conversation, when people are interacting from two different department, like HR and finance, marketing and finance, marketing and HR. Okay, and horizontal mean same department but two different designation, and upwards mean when the uh, lower level employee is conveying some information or sending some messages to their higher management, and the downward conversation from when the management conveying some information to the lower level employee. Okay, so you can consider one thing like the kind of example we can consider here, that what kind of information they are sharing. That example you can give, like in case of like the when if I'm considering the upward, okay, upward conversation, where the communication flows from the higher level organization to the lower level employee. So here basically what they are conveying, like for example, like okay, maybe they are asking for the weekly report. They are asking for the some product update or product feedback they are asking from their subordinate. So this kind of things, this kind of communication mean not like they are randomly they are talking. It's completely from the point of view of a their process of work, like they're asking for the product feedback, management asking for the product feedback, market survey they're asking for the weekly report, monthly report, this kind of things, this kind of communication mean this kind of. Okay, if I am considering the the downwards, like when towards the management they are talking, the subordinate one, so basically what they are sending the weekly report, they are informing, yes, these are the entire weekly report, this is the outcome. So and then the the sometimes HR they are sending the feedback on the employee performance to their higher management. This is also the the downwards as well. So these are the few example. And cross conversation, like when they are interacting with the two different department, mean they are asking marketing HR team, they are asking for the the operation, the HR team, finance team, they are asking from the HR team for a particular person who joined recently, for their the all the bank details they are asking from there. So this kind of conversation. Okay. Okay. Now the informal communication. This is very fun. Okay. Now informal communication means so sharing the feelings, casual discussion or gossip. Okay. The first figure, that is a single strand chain. So the blue one where the alphabet is not written. So the communication in which one person tells something to another, who again say something to other person, and the process goes on. So in this particular kind of informal communication, the blue one, the person having the blue circle, he or she is conveying some message to person B. B is sending the sharing that same information to the person C. C to D, D to E, and the process goes on. This is a single strand chain. Okay, so not necessarily it have to have the very serious topic. Okay, so it can be a casual discussion as well. Now the next one, cluster chain. So this kind of communication in which one person, say for considering this blue one, this blue person tells something to some of its most trusted one. Okay, so blue one, B, C, D, all of them are very good friend. Okay, they blue have very high level trust on B, C, and D, and blue is blue is sharing very his or her secret to this 3% B, C, D. Then B again at the same concept, B is sharing that information to his or her most trusted person, that is E and F. C again sharing his or her same information, his or her most trusted person, to G, and same way D is conveying to H and I. So this is this communication where one person tells something to it's something to some of its most trusted people, and then they tells them their trustworthy friends, and the communication continues and so on. Then again E, that person will convey the same information to his the trusted one. So that way the process will goes on. And the gossip chain, next one. So here the communication starts when a person tells something to a group of people. Okay, so we can consider our our school friends group, or many of you have your school friends group, maybe 2 3 school groups are also there. Okay, so and then what, they pass on the information to some more people. In this way the information will passed on the onto the everyone. So one group will share the other group, and this way the process will goes on. So here it's in case of cluster, they are sharing the information to their trust or most trusted person, but in case of gossip chain, things are not that. They are sharing in a the group format. And the last one is the probability chain. Probability chain, where the communication happens when a person randomly choose someone or some person to pass on the information which is of little interest but not important. Okay, so there is no specific. Randomly they are sharing the information, not keeping in mind like, okay, I have this particular secret, I have to mention this particular person only, this is this I can't share with this particular one, nothing like that. It's a very the very informal way of communication. So these are the four informal communication: the single strand chain, cluster chain, gossip chain, and the probability chain. So in a very short, if we compare the informal and formal communication, what are the difference between this? So in case of formal communication, a type of verbal communication in which the interchange of the information is does through a predefined channel is known as a formal communication. But in case of informal communication, a type of verbal communication which in which the interchange of the information doesn't follow any channel. Okay, there is no strict rule of that. And in case of formal communication, we can say the process is the speed is very, or the speed of the communication is very slow, but in case of informal it's very fast, we can say. Okay, and now so the time is over. Now the thing is how we are communicating. So as already we have shared in our previous slides, like we are sending some information in case of like the single thread chain, the probability chain, the gossip chain, and the other formal, informal, any kind, any form of communication. What basically is happening, even we, if we consider the upward, downward, horizontal, crosswise communication, in everywhere, what exactly happening? The flow of information goes from one place to other place. So one place to mean from sender to receiver. So how the process is happening? So from one point, so the starting point, basically the technical term is sender, and who is receiving that particular term is receiver. Okay, so before going to that, deep into that, let's share a short story. Okay, uh, where from this Shannon-Weaver model of communication comes from. Okay, so this is basically, if I'm considering this sender, encoding, channel, decoding, receiver, this is a very technical thing. Okay, I'm not going to deep into that how the message is encoding, how the channel is working, how they considering the noise, how the noise is eliminating after decoding, how the process of decoding. I'm not going to that technical dilemma. I will trick into the generic form of the communication as we are interacting now. Okay, so the Shannon-Weaver model of communication, if we consider this one, so this Shannon-Weaver model communication has been called the mother of the models. In total, scientists use the term to refer to an integrated model of the concepts of information source, message, transmitter, signal, channel, noise, receiver. Okay, so the history behind that is in 1946, or if I'm not wrong, I think it's 1948. Okay. Yeah, 1948. So Shannon was an American mathematician and electronic engineer as well, and Weber was an American scientist. Okay, so both of them joined together to write an article in Bell System Technical Journal, which is called the Mathematical Theory of Communication, and also it's called as the Shannon-Weaver model of communication. So this particular model specifically designed to develop the effective communication between the sender and the receiver. So in context with that, why also I just want to mention one point over here, why I'm telling you that this is, don't consider this particular model or this communication block diagram from the perspective of engineering, because if we are considering the engineering perspective, then we must have mentioned here at the point of sender the transmitter, and the point of receiver the receiving antenna. So we are not using this particular term. So there is again the big difference between the terminology. That's the beauty of the terminology or the skills or the communication skills, you can say, that the terminology we are using based on the situation. We have already mentioned starting to this class that communication sometimes it's based on the situation, how you are interacting. So on basis on based on this requirement of this class, we have to use this two particular term, that is the sender and the receiver. We are not using the transmitter and receiver. Okay. So from this particular one, the first block is the sender, then the encoder, then the channel, then the decoder, then the receiver. In between the channel, noise. So basically sender mean the originator of the message or the information source selects the desired message, and the encoder mean the transmitter, basically the transmitter which converts the message into signal. Okay. And decoder mean the reception place where the signal which converts the signal into message again. That is basically the reverse process of encoding. Okay, so in case of encoding, we are converting the message to signal. Okay, signal means here is a big ocean in this term message mean the there is a huge thing is there from the perspective of engineering, like we are converting to the data. So some sort of like that. So this encoding and decoding, these two are reverse process. In encoding part, we are converting message into signal, and decoding again signal to message. And the receiver is the destination place where you will receive the message. And noise, the message when it's transferring from the encoder to the decoder part. Okay, so the message may distracted or affected by the physical phenomena, some physical phenomena. So that is basically noise, like it might be sounds, thunder, crowd noise, or any particular unwanted signal in a channel during the transmission process, which affect the communication flow, or the receiver may not receive at the correct message. Likewise, when we are conducting this class, many of sometimes you are not getting your teacher voice properly, voice is breaking. Sometimes I was some student was talking, but I was not getting him properly. His voice was breaking. So this is basically noise mean this is nothing but, if from a engineering perspective, the definition of noise is the unwanted signal. Always remember, noise is nothing but it's an unwanted signal in your desired signal. So always it is not possible to remove the entire noise from your signal. So what we can do, we can eliminate the signal. Oh, sorry, we can eliminate the voice, or we can eliminate the unwanted part. So that is the beauty of the communication system. And that's why the entire thing, like analog modulation, analog communication, digital communication, wireless communication, that's the beauty lies in their own domain. So now coming to the next one, the Berlow's SMCR model. Okay, now this is very important. This is very important from the communication perspective. So as you can see, this one, SMCR, S means sender, M means message, C for channel, R for receiver. So first two part is the encoder part, then the decoder part, and the reverse way we will get the feedback. Okay. Now to explain this, this particular model, will consider. Oh, it's not working. Is it visible? I think visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this model is in after the Shannon-Weaver model. This model came to more accurately. I forgot the year. Extremely sorry for this particular model. I couldn't remember the exact year, but it's after the Shannon-Weaver model. So it more accurately, this particular model more accurately reflect the communication process. This model divided into four components. Okay, source, message, channel, and receiver. So what is the basic difference between the Shannon-Weaver and the Burners? We'll come to that particular point. But before going to that, let's understand the key point of this particular model. So for each four segment, sender, message, channel, and receiver, they are focusing few particular components. Say for sender, they are the model is focusing on communication skill, attitude, knowledge, social system, and a culture. So sender, when the model considering this particular segment, sender, the important components for this particular one is communication skill, attitude, knowledge, social system, and culture. When coming to the second part, the message mean the content, element, treatment, structure, and the code, the type of message. So it's completely you can see that the component it very much related to the the main part, like the message. It's very much related with that. Then the third one is channel, like hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, tasting. So the medium, the communication medium, channel mean the medium, how the communication is happening, whether the verbal or non-verbal. Now the last one is receiver, the communication skill. It is very important. Like when we are interacting, I'm sending the message and you are in the receiving point. I'm asking you something, you are responding. So this is basically the communication skill. If I am connecting these 2 points, sender and receiver, the communication skill, this is very important. So whatever I am conveying, you are getting the same or not. So it is very, if I'm connecting the point for the sender, the first component, communication skill. I'm the sender. I'm the I'm sending you some information through message. The format is message. The content I am sharing. Channel, you are hearing. You are not you are hearing as well as you can see. So hearing and seeing, you are replying. That is the communication skill. So that's how the entire process is connecting. Okay, so is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how this model works. Okay, so every time it's not necessary that all the components have to connect each other, not necessary. Even but at least one will connect with the other segment from each of the block. That is mandatory. Now this is the the difference. This is the difference. So main main point is the process, how they are focusing. the Boyle's SMCR model and the Shannon-Weber model. Why? Because Shannon-Weber model comes first, then the Boyle's one. So why we are moving to Boyle's SMCR model? As we can see in Shannon model, primarily they are focusing on the transmission information in technical communication. But in the Burler's SMCR model, you can see they are focusing on the human communication, as well as they are emphasized on the sender, message channel and receiver. I will for a moment I will go back to the previous slide. In this model, you can see simply they are sending the information from one point to other point, and they are completely focusing on the technical part. They are not considering the non-verbal part or any other thing. But in the Boyle's SMCR model, it is very important to note, and this is the key point, and that's the beauty of this Berlow's SMCR model, that they are categorically focusing the that they are emphasizing on the send, sometimes their emotions as well. Okay, so they have for each and every block they have different parameters. Like human elements, if I am considering in the Shannon-Weber model, they are focusing on the in case of Shannon Weber, their emotions, attitude, personal context. But in case of Barles, explicitly they address the humans factors like the attitude, their knowledge, cultural context, and both sender receiver as well. And for the component breakdown, like the component breakdown mean the basic components. So in case of Shannon, they are having source, transmitter, channel, receiver, noise. But in case of the SMCR model, they have the different, they have 4 basic block having the other component. So that is the major difference between the component wise. And the feedback mean, like in feedback is acknowledged by largely one way mechanism. Okay, we are not getting it from the other way around. But in case of the Berlitz SMCR, feedback is central to the model and emphasizing two-way communication and interactive exchange as well. So we can do it in both ways. In case of noise, in Shannon model, focuses only on the external noise, like physical interference. But in case of SMCR, it includes the external, psychological, the accounting for the misunderstanding, emotions, everything. So in case of SMCR model, in short, they are considering everything, verbal, non-verbal, everything they are considering. And then the contextual and cultural relevance, like in case of Shannon, it doesn't address the impact of cultural or social context or personal factors on the communication, whereas in SMCR model, it's acknowledged the cultural background, personal experience, emotional states as well. Then for the 7th point, the adaptability, the preliminary, it's suited for the technical communication, information transmission. In case of SMCR, it's more flexible, and we can say the applicable to interpersonal, organizational, and mass communication as well. The second last point, the complexity of the communication is in case of the Weber, we can say that it's linear. And focusing on the basic transmission one. But in case of SMCR, it's more complex, and as we are addressing many other points for the each of the block. And from the application perspective, Weber model is basically preliminary for the technological communication system like radio or phone network. It's completely this Shannon-Weber model is completely from the the technical perspective, technical communication perspective. But in case of the SNCF model, it focuses on the human communication, making it ideal for the face-to-face, group, organizational, and other what we have already discussed. So now I will flow little faster. So now the another thing is principle of communication. This is also very important. The 7 C's of effective communications. So am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Now, the 7 C's of effective communications. Uh, the 7 C's of communication is basically a checklist to ensure that your communication is effective. Your communication is effective. So, we have we may communicate using number of different methods like face to face, telephone, email, instant messenger, the your Facebook, Instagram, later reports, meeting, presentation, and many other things. So the just a moment. Okay, now I think it's slide is clear, right? So the first one, completeness, clearness, courtesy, correctness, concreteness, conciseness, consideration. These 7 are the very important for any kind of effective communication. Okay. Now, point is maybe somewhere some other book you will get some different word, but the C will be same. Maybe somewhere you will get in place of clearness, maybe you will get clarity. That's okay. But you have to understand the inner meaning. Not necessarily everywhere you will get the same word. The main word may be vary, but the concept will be same. Okay. So completeness means the communication must be it should convey all facts that required by the audience. The sender of the message must take into consideration the receiver's mindset and convey the message accordingly. That is called the completeness. Okay, like it has the enhances the reputation of an organization, a complete conversation always gives a additional information wherever is required. Okay, so uh, the second one is clearness, or somewhere you will get the term as clarity, like it implies emphasizing on a specific message or goal at a time rather than trying to achieve too much at once. Clarity in the communication is very important always, which makes understanding easier of the thoughts and ideas, enhance the meaning of the message, or clear message all it makes use of exact, appropriate, concrete words. And the courtesy, this is not even actually in a technical way or any professional. Each and every individuals should maintain this. courtesy. So this is basically in message implies the message should show sender expression as well as should respect the receiver as well. But the center of the message should be sincerely polite, judicious, reflective, or what we can say, enthusiastic. So this kind of message has kind of features like, that taking into the consideration both viewpoints as well as the feelings of the receiver of the message, and as well as the you know senders as well. And this message is a positive focused at the audience, and it makes use of the terms showing respect for receiver of the message. Okay. Then the correctness. It implies that there are no grammatical errors in the communication, like ensuring the accuracy in grammar, spelling, punctuation, the factual information presented, and it makes use of appropriate and greater impact of the on the audience and the readers actually. So, and then the concreteness. Concreteness is basically using the specific facts, evidence, and for the credibility and believability. So, concreteness is basically, it implies being particular, clear rather than fuzzy and general. Okay. So, this kind of communication is basically focusing, being particular, more clear rather than making the things fuzzy. So this strengthen the confidence, and this matches this kind of messages should have the features like it should support the specific facts and the figures, and it makes use of the words that are clear and that build the reputation as well, and which concrete the message are to not misinterpreted. Then the conciseness. Okay, now conciseness basically that is communicating what you want to convey in least possible words without foregoing of the seas of the communication. Conciseness is, the necessary for effective communications. So it's conveying message with brevity without unnecessary details of the information. You have to be very, very specific when you are pointing this particular one. And then the consideration. Consideration implies stepping into the shoes of the others. Okay, like effective communication must take the audience into the consideration. That is the audience viewpoints whom you are sharing actually. And so that point of view means the background, the mindset, the education level. So that if we are going to the very initial part of our discussion, like the non-technical person, so we have to understand the mindset. Okay, so audience mindset, that is very important. So this consideration is very important when you are sharing your thoughts. So ensure that always ensure that your self-respect of the audience is maintained and their emotion are not harm at well. So this is uh, basically the very, very important perspective when you are communicating, not only when you are sharing any technical communication, like you are sharing some data, or you are sharing your data analysis part. Not necessarily, even you are communicating with someone in a very generic way, so you must have focused on the 7 C's. Now, the another important thing, how the seven how you being an data scientist, or your that particular skill, data science communication skill, you can improve. So these are the few points which I have mentioned, like the identify your audience and the speaker and their language. Then use the TL and DR approach to clearly communicate what matters. use visualization, structured communication, structured communication strategy, focus on the result, gather questions, feedback, continue communication until the recommended actions are completed. Now, point is, um, just a moment. Okay, now if I'm considering like identify your audience and speak their language, so I think all of you already understood this. Like we have to understand the audience perspective, and we have to talk from their perspective. We have to consider that some non-technical person is sitting behind us. Okay, so tailoring to the communication to your audience can be increase your likelihood that your recommendation will be convincing. Okay, so that is very important. Now here using, I will focus on this second point mostly, like use the TL and DR approach to clearly communicate what matters. Like this TL and dear mean, I have written here purposely in short, because this is basically too long, didn't read. Too long, didn't read. So basically, one way to grab your audience attention and the highlight the relevance of an insight to the business is to use the TLDR approach. Okay, so that is basically too long, didn't read at the beginning of every analysis. This approach is is clear, concise summary of the content, your particular content that frames essential insights in the context of impact on key business matrices actually. So it helps you to define the bottom line of your output and making it easier for the company's decision makers to recognize the value of your insights and learn more. So this particular point, it will be more clear in the next slides when I will discuss particular structure. Okay, so and then the use visualization whenever applicable. So that is basically the that graphical one. So the more graphs, more the pictorial things they will consider, it will be more the applicable for a for any kind of audience. And the structured communication strategy focus on the result. This all I think we have already discussed in our previous slides as well, so I'm skipping these two particular points here. Now, how to be a better, communicate, how to better communicate as a data scientist. So, someone written by Tessa Zai that communicating our work is as important as writing code and building the models and products to get the job done. This is a very famous quote in Twitter and LinkedIn as well. So how will you be a better communicator being a data scientist? So for this, we'll consider a particular structure. Okay, a particular structure will consider, that is known as the pyramid principle. That is known as pyramid principle. Just hold on. Now, I think this is visible, right? It can read. So this is basically in the right side of the diagram. The answer, that is the one, two is supporting argument, and the third one supporting data and factors. So as my previous slide I said, like how to be a better communicate, how to better communicate as data scientist. Okay, so always for this, the better is always use the pyramid principle. A lot of data scientists communicate in a linear manner, like this is understandable because that's how we experience things, and also how we tell the stories in our everyday lives. But it is not that most effective way to get the important information across, because audience can easily get the lost or bored in this type of communication. Okay, so uh, similar to the similar to headlines of the newspaper articles, the insights will grab the audience attention, right? So always, in case while reading the newspaper, we are every time we are not going to deep into the detailed story. Most of the time what we'll do, we'll take the headline. So the headline of the newspaper article, that basically grab the audience attention. So they are what you ultimately want to get across. So you need to put them front and the center. If the audience is interested in the detail, they will read on. If not, they got most important, they got the most important message, or they will skip. Okay, so that is why it is very important to express your way in a very strategic manner. So the strategy is, in case of pyramid principle, is the first step always, that is answer whatever you are doing, whatever the research you are doing, whatever the data analysis you are doing, always express or always tell your story from the last stage, that is from the result part. So that is very important, that is very important. So the process will be reverse. Okay, the process will be reverse. That is first you have to tell them your output, then you have to uh, collect your supporting arguments, you have to keep your supporting arguments, and then you have to show your supporting data. That is the reverse way you have to follow. Not like that, okay, I have this particular documents, and I have this data. I have data for the yearly sales target for a particular product. I have the last 5 years data analysis for this particular market survey report for this particular product. And the second stage, for the supporting arguments, I have the particular, for this particular month I have the data as well, and the output is this, not this way. You have to be very specific, that compared to last 7 to 10 years, our recent month analysis for this particular product is highly recommendable. That should be your approach. That should be your approach. That is you are expressing your uh, result from a achiever perspective. Okay, not as a demonstrator. Okay, not as an instructor. You are like your attitude should be your sharing your success story. Okay, so you should start with this, and then you have to come the second point, that is a supporting argument. That is Why I am telling you, like this particular month I'm getting very appreciable the output, because this particular month I am getting from this particular zone, from the, say for example, from the South Kolkata Southern Avenue, I am for this particular product from the Southern Avenue, I have sell almost a particular a particular product I am considering Fab India kurta. Okay, so for the zone of Southern Avenue, almost 150 piece kurta I have sold for that particular zone. From Tollygunge area, I have sold like 100. From North Calcutta, Sham Bazar area, almost the figure is 170. Like way, but this is the supporting argument for your current month. Now the data and the fact mean why you are arguing, why you are saying that your current data is more appreciable position, because the supporting data which I have, the supporting facts which I have from the earlier 7 to 10 months, from the same zone, from the Southern Avenue, from the Tollygunge, from Sham Bazar area, from the last you forgot about the 7 to 10 years, from the last 7 to 10 months the data was poor compared to this month's. This way you have to approach. Okay, if you are not doing that, if you are starting with, okay, listen, today I am going to share the the feedback analysis for this particular product for Fab India, and from the 7 to 10 months back, from this particular zone, the sales record was this. You were starting with that. Truly tell me, will you get any interest for that? Rather than, it will be more interesting if you are sharing the output at the initial stage, then step by step go deep into the thought. That is the beauty of the pyramid principle. Pyramid principle always states that you have to state your output first, then you have to give the supporting arguments and the supporting data. Please make a note of it, that the supporting argument and the supporting data all are not same. Supporting argument mean that the point, the output which you have, supporting document corresponding to that, and the supporting data and facts mean the contradictory data which helps you to prove your output. That is the thing. Okay, so uh, this is this I think you can read. This is not very tough. So very precise manner. If I concise the key takeaway from the pyramid principle, the 3 step: first, start with answer first, start with your answer first. Sorry. Second, group and summarize your supporting argument. Group and summarize your supporting arguments. Supporting arguments mean that is with respect to your output. Then logically order your supporting ideas. That is the facts from the previous record. Okay. So this is all about the pyramid principle here, and in connection with that we have other one model was there, if I am not wrong. with the one thing I forgot to mention, in connection with the Burler's model, there was other model was there, I forgot to mention here as well, like the ritual model, RITUAL model of communication, that focuses in connection with that that Barlow's SMCM model. So that is basically which it's this ritual model of um communication, which focuses on sharing the information and preserving the that information over the time, and it's developed by the some other person, like its name was James Carey. So he developed this particular model. So it is not actually mentioned here. I didn't mention that because I thought it's not actually very relevant with this particular structure, as we have uh, basic different type like formal, informal and verbal. This on this particular context it is not very relevant, so I didn't noted that one. But if you want to check, you can go with that, you can check. So the major part of this particular one is this pyramid principle and the 7 C's of communications, Borler's SMCR model, Shannon's Faber's model, this informal communication, formal communication, and this is very common. Everyone is used to with this. So these are the very important one. One is formal, informal is the second one. Third is Shannon-Weaver model of communication, Barlow's SMCA model, 7 C's of communications, principle, pyramid principle. This 6 points is very, important, and don't take it like, no, it's not very important for us. No need to take, okay, the class is over, we can take it casually. Please take this seriously. I'm telling you, one fine day you will understand this is actually very much needed when you will be working with a organization, you will be a working professional. It's very, very important, I'm telling you. Not every time doing coding, analysis, this is not the ultimate one. Interpretation is very important. Along with your coding, interpretation is very, very important. So how you will interpret, you have to communicate. The communication skills is very important. So rather than wasting more time, two assignments I have given. Okay. Assignment one is pyramid principle exercise. Task is, you can take a small data set, or you can consider any case study as per your choice. Any data set you can consider. You can take it from Kaggle as well. So any open source area, you can collect it from there. And you have to prepare a pyramid structural explanation, where you have to do the headline, supporting points, evidence, and details. So what will be the learning outcome from that? Storytelling with the data. Why I am telling you that? In the previous one, I told you, like, you have to express your result in a storytelling form. So this is basically I am collaborating this two concept. So you not necessarily you have to collect the data from your Kaggle, whatever the project you are doing, or you can randomly take any kind of data or case study, and you can write it down in your own way, no problem. So just give a small trying. You can make it in a half page as well. No need to make it in a 2-3 pages. Just make it very crisp. When preparing this document, this report, make a note of that 7 C's. It will be clear. Make it concise, clear. Communication etiquette with 7 C's. So here the task is draft an email to convey the information, either rescheduling a meeting or sharing any kind of update or requesting a document. So any of that particular you can take, or you can take as per your choice, and ensure that the draft must follow the 7 C's of communication. Why I'm telling you, it has to be very specific. Every C has to be there. Okay, so the learning outcome, it will strengthen your professional communication skill in both formal context and informal context. Okay, so I'm not telling you that you guys are not able to write down any email, you have no sense to how to write email, not. But the thing is that you have to know the proper official way, the formal way to communicate, how to communicate. Even if you are asking for a single line question, even then there should be a formal way to communicate. So that is very important. So this assignment you can perform, and you can email me directly your, or I will if you are interested, I can give you some Google link for that, or you can send me the uh, report via my email address as well. I think all of you have my email address as well. So here end of this class. So I think check me the chat box.
By what date we need to submit that assignment?
Sorry.
By what date we need to submit that assignment? Do we need to submit anything for that assignment you showed?
Your voice is breaking. So this particular assignment, either you can email me, or you can I will share a form or drive link. You can upload it there. So for the timing, you just take 2 to 3 days. No need to hurry. Okay.
Okay.
I will share the link and the information with you all. First, try to get into the topic. Try to understand the things whatever I have shared you. Take your time, and I will share with you how to share the assignment. Okay, just
Okay.
quickly check. Let me check the chat box.
For session 1,
Hmm.
will we have the classes next week also?
No. I'm coming to that point. Just hold on, huh? Data processing. Many of you have written. Madam, can you share the assignment question? I will share the entire PPT. You will get it from there. Mm. Okay. Okay. For section one, after today's class, there will be no theoretical class as per schedule, and for the rest of the 2 weeks, you have to do your project. Now, coming to the point, the project, when you will get your project, so that you will get very soon, either by tomorrow, or by tomorrow I think you will get it. If not, then definitely you will get it by Monday. Okay, so you will get detailed information how to do it, how where from you will get the, like, the project title, where from you will get everything, every detail I will share with you. Even I'm trying to do it by today only. If not, then by tomorrow or day after tomorrow you will get it. By Monday onwards you will get in your hand. Okay, so no need to be panic. And this information, this project information only for the section 1 who are in section 1. Okay, not for the students who are from section 2. For section 1, again I am repeating, please have patience. Don't be panic. We are working on this project allocation, because many of you are jumping from section 1 to section 2, and many of you are new members are adding taking admission in the section 1 as well. So we are doing that reshuffling, and we have to assigning the right one to the right person, right? So for that, this is a very, the this process is not so easy. So we are tirelessly working on this. Our entire team is working on this. Our technical team is already working on this. So uh, we will share it shortly, no problem. So maybe by tomorrow I will share the entire detail. We will get 11 to 12 days for the section 1. Uh, yes, 2 weeks they will get. 2 weeks they will get. So not the 12 days, because it's a 4 months. So 2 weeks we have theory class, and the entire 2 weeks we'll have the project work. So I don't know how you were calculating 11 to 12 days. So it will be actually 2 weeks starting from the Monday. Okay. So
Ma'am, I had another doubt.
yeah. Tell me.
Will there be deadlines to submit the half assignments or, particular parts of the assignments?
For my one?
No, like for the project, when we'll make it, will there be a
Hmm.
specific deadline which we have to follow
Yes,
every day or
yes. Mean
something?
the you are from section 1, right?
Yes.
So it has to be completed within that 2 weeks.
So before, like after 1 week, do we need to submit a rough draft or something like that?
Not necessarily. We'll share the entire procedure with you. Okay. The how we will conduct the entire next 2 weeks. We'll share with you. Maybe we'll have a Zoom
Actually,
meeting as well with the section 1, and we'll share the entire process. Okay.
I was just concerned because the next week I have my exam, so I probably won't be able to give a lot of time.
Don't be panic. Don't be panic. It won't be a very hard project. Okay. It will be easy. It will be easy. Okay.
Ma'am, I have doubt regarding attendance.
Hmm.
Ma'am, so is there any criteria about attendance?
You have attended all classes?
Ma'am, I just missed 2 of them.
No problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I think let's
Ma'am,
talk.
ma'am.
Hmm.
On one of the classes, my network was in a bit disturbed state, so I have to leave and then I have to join, and another time I have to again leave and join. So will that attendance be considered?
No problem. Once you
O-
join, it will be taken as a no problem.
Okay.
Hmm. Any more question?
Ma'am, I have shifted from the section 1 to section 2, but my letter is still from the section 1. And what to do
Sritoma,
then? Yes, ma'am.
will you able to fill up the form?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you fill?
Till tomorrow it was not working. Today it has worked and I have
Oh,
filled it.
you filled today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Today you filled, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. By Monday you will get it. No problem. There won't be any issue for that, Sritoma. It's okay. We have already noted that. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So can we end the class now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. And even I enjoyed a lot. For all of you are so interacting. I'm so very happy. Thank you so much. Even though it's not at all a technical class, but thank you for all of your immense support. Thank you so much. Thank you.